Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, I said something over the weekend that had my libertarian friends ready to Pinochet me right out of a helicopter. I said that I could see Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, given time and a little bit of refinement of her beliefs, as being the next Ron Paul. And man, they got mad. the, The other thing that I found out over the weekend was I looked at the analytics for the first time and I found like 10-15% of you guys don't live in the US. You live overseas, and I guess you're watching this like a live feed of the fall of the Roman Empire. So I guess I need to explain who Ron Paul is. Ron Paul was a doctor, became a congressman from Texas, and he is a philosophical giant in the libertarian community, which is conservative in the US. He was known as Dr. No, because anything that wasn't expressly authorized by the Constitution, he'd vote no on. A lot of the legislation that has become a problem today, like the Patriot Act, he voted against. He had a very different view of a lot of things. He felt that government overreach and government regulation and government just pushing down was what was keeping the little guy down. Now, you go to AOC and you see a female young commie from New York. And just on appearances, they look very different. That's how she is seen among conservative circles. So comparing the two, especially in a favorable light, definitely brought a reaction. Her belief is that corporate greed, and greed in general, is what is keeping the little guy down. And so she is attracting many of the people that would have flocked to Ron Paul a generation ago, because these are millennials that have navigated this destroyed economy for 10 years. And they see that greed as an issue. And I know people are going to say, no, the economy isn't destroyed. It's not really that bad. I don't judge the economy by how well rich people are doing. The strongest indicator of the state of the economy to me was that you had federal employees who were very well paid, who have a very secure job, missing one paycheck and ending up at a food bank. That is a stronger indication of the economy to me than whether or not some, multimillionaire made an extra 10 grand. She seems to understand that a corporation like Walmart that makes around $14 billion a year could take half of that profit and give each one of their 1.4 million employees an extra $5,000 a year. And given the average sales associate makes around $19,000, that's a 25% pay increase. That is substantial to anybody, especially somebody that close to the poverty line. So when you're looking at it through the lens of left versus right, yeah, they're very different. They are very different. One sees the corporate establishment as the problem. One sees the government establishment as the problem. But what if they're both right? What if they're both correct in their assertion? What if it isn't like how it's portrayed in the media? What if it isn't corporate establishment versus government establishment? What if it's more like Weekend at Bernie's? What if over here you've got the corporate establishment working the head of that body, and over here you've got the government establishment working the arms? And that body is what used to be a representative democracy, and today we have an oligarchy, like the study out of Princeton and Northwestern suggests. What if it's not corporate establishment versus government establishment? What if it's just establishment versus you? But we're so trained to kick down and to fight each other that we don't see it. Yeah, with a little bit of refinement and a little bit of time, she'll grow, just like everybody does. Ron Paul didn't have all his ducks in a row when he first started. I think that we're looking at a powerhouse in the making. It can definitely happen. The question is there going to be anybody to fill Ron Paul's shoes at the same time? And the question is, whether or not the Democratic Party, the establishment within that, is going to let it happen. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.